Shit don't go, man. They gon' jump whatever dick jumping at the time, girl. You know I find it funny how you was acting funny round me. Wouldn't let me touch you out. Think I'm just buzzing off. Probably won't get enough money out. I had to buckle down. You my motivation. You the reason why I hustle now. You know I find it funny how you not acting funny now. My name branded money bow. Showing off your body now. Dancing to my music loud. Every show you in the crowd. Texting me and telling me I'm dead. I'm in love you now. I could have been like Chance the Rapper. Penitentiary chances. I took a chance at rapping. Black sheep of the family. Everything I touch and turn don't shit nobody proud of me. Fuck up like a black cloud was surrounding me. On my back they clowning me. Welcome in, Thomasina. How's it going, Bessie? Thank you for downing me. JH, how's it going? Yeah, eat that pussy good. I hope you're doing good, Thomasina. Haven't seen you in a minute, so I hope you've been holding it down. Struggling? Aw, dude, that's not good. That's not good. Well, I know it'll be short-lived. I know it'll be short-lived, your struggle. You're too nice of a person to be struggling forever, you know what I'm saying? It's short-lived. See through all your bullshit. Welcome in, Citrus Ghost 3. How's it going? I don't know if I've seen you here before, but welcome. I hope you're having a good Wednesday, a good hump day. Mike. What day is it? Oh, well, welcome. I hope you're having a good day. It's going. That's the energy, don't worry. That's the collective energy right now. Some people are flying high. Some people are stuck in the swamp. But most of the collective is right in that ping pong, in that in-between. So, it's okay. It's not you. It's not you. Daisy Dot, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. I don't know if I've seen you here either. Does Sophia want to live with me? Miss Daisy, I'm sorry. I can't feel into Sophia's energy without her permission to do so. I can try to feel into your energy as long as we reword the question so that it works in your energy, then we can ask it. I'm always taking collective questions. Anything that requires me to feel into someone's energy is a paid space. So today we're doing 10-10 for subscribers because we're doing givebacks, and then we're doing 12-12 for everybody else. We have Cash App and we have Venmo. So, yes, we do take questions, but if it requires me to, like, feel into someone's energy, then it's a paid question. Good morning from the West Coast. What is up? What is up? Welcome back. Welcome in from the East Coast. Dang, wait a minute. It's got to be, like, what, like 8 o'clock where you're at? 8 a.m.? I think it's like 8 a.m. if you're on the West Coast, like Cali West Coast. Because I know you guys are like 3 or 4 hours behind us. 9. Yeah, okay. Alright. That makes so much more sense why I typically see you in the evenings then. That makes sense. That makes sense. Well, welcome in, Miss Kalila. Welcome in. I don't know. We're on some goofy ass energy today, so just ignore me. We're on some goofy-ass energy today. I'll tell you what, though. I have found out, since I started posting funny stuff that makes me giggle, but also has spiritual, like, good things in the descriptions, you know? I've triggered more people through humor and good energy than I have through card pulls, and that's wild to me. That's wild to me. That's wild. I had somebody come after me today, and I was like, what is going on? Do not make me use that sound. Stop it. New boo goofing. Oh! Just me? New boo goofing. Ah, stop. It's 100% ostrich. Nobody wants to see me in Daisy Dukes, though. Not my pasty white legs from the winter.
Oh my goodness. No, you'd be surprised, Miss Thomasina. You would be surprised how much good energy irritates the people who aren't sitting in good energy. And it just happens. You know? I mean, it's not going to stop me. I don't care. Don't matter to me. But I do, it does make me like, wow. Did I ever find that cool tree on my walk? Yeah. Yup. Yeah, we did. They didn't cut it down, and I'm glad they didn't. It's so cool. It's like straight white, and the tree branches off, so it's like a massive base. It has to have been there for like 100 years. Like, this thing is huge, just complete massive, and it sprouts up with like good sized tree trunk. Like, I can't even hug around the tree trunk. Just one of the splits, and it goes straight up a little bit kind of diagonal, like a 45-degree angle, and the other one shoots out and shoots right over the lake, like shoots right over like the little creek. Oh, it's fantastic. And then there's two smaller branches that jut off of the one that shoots out over the creek, so you have like a backrest. If you straddle the tree, you have like a backrest. You know. I didn't post any of the walks to YouTube. I can if you want me to, like, it's still saved. I wasn't sure if people would want to see that or not. I wasn't 100% sure, but technically, yes, I have it in both walks. So I've walked twice, and I showed the tree because it's my favorite tree, and nobody has carved into it yet, and I think that's also what I like about it. Is that nobody has like been like, Jessica loves Kevin in the tree. So I can post them.
Everything, I feel like
I can post them because I have all of the lives saved, and so it'll be in the live. So I can definitely do that. That's not like a problem. So maybe I'll do that because I'm still uploading the live from yesterday, so I can try to upload those walks as well. I love the walks, although the algorithm doesn't like it because it deems it different content, even though it's not. It's spiritual content. Like, to me, it deems it different content. So I don't know if I want to keep doing them. I want to keep doing them because it's literally what I do. Like, I don't do it to go video. Like, I do it, and then I'm like, while I'm there, I'm like, maybe somebody else would like to join me, you know? So I'm kind of aggravating TikTok. I'm kind of aggravating TikTok because I keep switching my algorithm and I keep forcing it to switch. So if you've noticed, the lives have been a little lower in people in there. It's because I'm forcibly making the algorithm switch up by doing the funny content, by doing shorter videos, by not throwing cards every single day on videos, by going live at different times, by changing the live content. Like, so I enjoy it more because I think people just were thinking it was too serious. You know, like, it just seemed like, I feel like the page came off very serious, while spirituality is super serious, and it is, not all the time, like, everything in balance. So I feel like the way it is now shows a little bit more personality, and I think that that's what I enjoy more, is the personality, you know what I mean? Love the walk, it was so spiritual and fun. Okay, well, good, because I actually want to do a bunch more, and when we come back into the good weather, like, as we bridge in out of winter, I am going to get sound bowls, and I think I might do sound bowl sessions in the park, where, like, I set up like a blankie or something, and I bring the bowls. I've been debating that for the longest time, but I think I'm just going to do it. Like, I think I'm just going to fire it off and do it, and then maybe, like, once a week, maybe, if I can do that, like, logistically with all the back-end spaces, but maybe once a week do, like, sound bowl live, to where, like, middle of the day, one of the afternoon sessions, you know, maybe a Monday to set the week up, or, I don't know, just something that it's different, you know, I've been batting that around. So it's one of those things that it's in my to-do wish list. It's in my to-do wish list. I don't feel 100% comfortable yet playing my flute because I feel like people get a little bit aggravated with like the cultural appropriation, even though that's not what I'm doing. Some people get aggravated when they see people they assume to be white doing things that they assume to be another culture. So I'm always a little bit cautious about that because I do have ceremonial sacred drums and I do have a Native American Blackfoot wood flute, and I play both of those for different reasons. As something falls on me, I play both of those for different reasons, and I've thought about bringing those out to the woods, but I want to get a little bit bigger before I start irritating some followers. I want to get to like the 10K mark before I start like really disrupting everything. But I've made sounds, like I made a meditation grounding solfeggio frequency using both of those sounds that I created off of both of those tools. And so it's not like I'm hiding the fact that I do it, but just not quite blasting it out there for all the hate quite yet. But yeah, so we're just slowly kind of ka-chugga-chugging in the direction of healing. Because I feel like people get them, like, and I'm gonna make a video about it. Because I feel like people confuse what we do here. Because they see me with cards all the time. And it's like, I'm not a tarot reader. I don't read tarot. These are just cool tools that people enjoy and people know what these are, right? Like, they might not understand what other things are. So I'm trying to mix up content so that it's not just like we're looped in with the other tarot readers who like kind of do the clickbaity stuff. So I don't know. So just batting around different things, you know what I mean? Like just trying to showcase maybe more our authenticity because I'm not after the views. I've never been that person. Like, I couldn't care less. I like the environment that we create here. You know, I like the fact that people can slide into the, to the chat and feel free to ask questions. I like that people, feel comfortable getting reads. I like that people, are challenging themselves, their beliefs, willing to heal. Like creating that type of a space is way more important than me than going viral or something silly like that. So it's just something 12:12 on the clock. It's just something that we're slowly working in. So I'm going to be doing more walks. I actually thought about doing one later this evening around 2 o'clock, maybe 3 o'clock, because I have to run into town anyway. And if I'm going to be in town, dropping off stuff, picking up grain, and all that kind of stuff, then I might as well stop at the park. I won't have the pup this time because I have to run errands, but I might as well stop at the park as long as it's not downpouring. So I was thinking about that, but we'll just see what time we get off of here. You know what I mean? But because it's a Wednesday and it's a hump day and some people are dragging because the collective energy is up, down, and people are getting ping-ponged in between the really good and the low lows, we're doing price cuts today because it makes everybody happy when they can save a little bit of money. So we're doing 10/10 for my subscribers to say thank you because my subscribers are awesome. All awesome people. Everyone in the community here is awesome. And so I just want to say thank you. So we're doing 10/10 for all subscribers today. And we're doing 12/12 for my non-subscribers. So still a price cut. Don't come at me. But, yeah. I just want to give back a little bit. And I feel like that's an easy way to do it. An easy way to get people in a good mood on a Wednesday. So just know the list is open. We have Cash App. We have Venmo. If you would like to get on the list, go ahead, donate, come back in. Please let us know how you donated. Like, tell us that you did so that way I don't miss anybody. Sometimes, especially Venmo, I don't know what it is. Venmo is, like, slowed to give me the notification. But the second I, like, click on the Venmo app, it's like, oh, here it is. Here's the 3 people that donate. I'm like, what the... And then all the notifications come in. So we just want to make sure we don't miss you. So the list is open. Thank you so much for the shares. Thank you for all the love. Let me just scroll back here real fast. I'm so sorry. We're going to pop off with collective though. I know the sound bowls. Okay, well, yeah. No, I agree with you, Miss K. I agree with you. And that just happens sometimes, so it's okay. But I have noticed that I irritate more people with the funny videos and I get more pushback with me just being goofy than I do with any of the card pulls. Or any of the wisdom walks or any of the... So it does make me giggle. It does. So we're going to pop in to collective here and see what we got going on collectively. List is open. If you guys have collective questions, please know that you can always drop them down in the comment section. Collective questions are questions that do not require me to feel into you specifically, but are on a spiritual topic, or maybe you just want to share a win or something. You can always do that in our comment section. This is kind of weird. Spirit saying bridging out of sadness into a new world. That's the way that they just said it. Bridging out of sadness into a new world. They're talking about something you never thought was possible. They're using it in the way of like you're surprising yourself with the hole you're digging yourself out of, is the way that they're making me feel. Like somebody feel like the walls were closing in, things were getting tough, things were getting really difficult, you almost didn't see your way out of it, things weren't working out for you, but for some reason, it's like now you're seeing the light at the end of your tunnel, and this has really come from a lot of dissatisfaction. It's like they're not really calling it your rock bottom, but it's just like you just got caved in on. Like that's the way they're showing it to me. Like you kind of down in the pit and got caved in on and you're crawling your way out. And they're talking about how some people now are starting to relearn how to be happy. They're starting to relearn to find the joy in a lot of things. And they're also starting to release the burdens that they don't need to be carrying anymore. Because they're saying part of what made it so hard for you to climb out of the hole that you built and created for yourself is because you had a million things weighing you down that you didn't need to be holding on to. It's a lot easier to climb when you only weigh half. And this is exactly what they're talking about. You're starting to heal and grow in some of the biggest ways possible, and I feel like you're beginning to love yourself again. So I feel like if you're somebody in the collective who's kind of been a little bit through, I don't know, like those dry slumps, a little bit through, of course, Ooh Child comes on. Of course. The playlist on shuffle. This is fantastic. But you're quickly moving to the end of your turmoil. That's the way I want to say it. You're quickly moving to the end of your turmoil here. Big changes, big opportunities are ahead. You're in like for some of you, you're in physical movement. Like in the fact that you're gaining confidence to try new things. You're planning your next physical steps. Like it's not even just energetically. Like you're releasing and breaking the cycles that have kept you stuck. Like, this is what they're talking about, and they're rewarding you through physical abundances. They're rewarding you through emotional stability. They're rewarding you through this sense of self when you keep moving forward. And for some of you, it really is challenging, but it's you having learned your lesson. Like, for some of you, it's a physical movement because you're getting up out of old spaces and places, and you're planning your exit. Like, that's the way I want to say it. You're planning your leave or your exit from the bullshit that kept you down. And this is what they're hinting at right now. As we have the Seven of Swords, which is literally you leaving all the bullshit behind. We have the Ace of Wands, which is brand new, sparky, spanky beginnings. And we just have you balancing shit and coming out on top and having learned life lessons here. Like having learned the lesson with not only the Hierophant out as a bridge, but also the Justice card face up. Because you're just seeing it differently. That's the way I want to say it. Like you're just seeing it differently. You're no longer abandoning success at all. Welcome in, Veronica, I'm so sorry. That was so difficult to read. Welcome in, Danielle. And they're just talking about how it's temporary struggles. I feel like with this Five of Pentacles out here, I feel like you're having a little bit of physical struggles, but I feel the need to tell you that what you're struggling through right now is past energy. That's the way I want to say it. Because the density of the 3D works so much slower, and you're doing all this other movement energetically for yourself, and how you're having these energetic realizations, and how your higher self is getting connected, and how there's a lot more balance than there ever was, and you're seeing things from a new perspective, and you're learning the lesson. The physical struggle you're currently going through is the ending, and like, I want you to hear this, is the ending of the ripple of your past energy. It has to happen in the less dense planes before it happens in the more dense planes. The 3D is the most dense. So you're running through like this is like the last couple ripples of the bullshit before you get into your wind time, before you get into reaping, your benefits for your perspective, before you get to see it in your physical 3D. So if it feels like you're doing all the things and you're kind of getting a little bit taken off guard with the fact that it's kind of like swooping you to the left is what it feels like. Like, you feel like it's kind of sucking some of the wind out of your sails. Don't let it. Have the realization that when something starts pulling the wind out of your sails, you got to kind of cut it energetically and just tell yourself, like, nope, this is temporary. I'm not going to let it bother me because it's already on its way out. And that's what they're talking about. I feel the need to pull these sassy cards, which we haven't pulled in a minute now. So I went to go grab another deck, and I almost grabbed this deck twice, so this deck must want to be heard from. So we'll see what she pops out. Good Lord. It says, loving is its own reward. Every act of loving is a benefit of the risk. We all want to be loved back. We all want to be supported. But when you grow up, you can see that it has nothing to do with how the person who receives your love reacts, and all to do about just being willing to open your heart in this dangerous world. Be a gangster and love the fuck out of somebody today and expect nothing in return. And then it says, sorry, wrong one. And then it says, people are ignoring you, love bug. People are busy as fuck with their lives. The way to stop feeling ignored is to get busy with yours. Take up knitting if you have to. Get into it. No one is ignoring you. You're probably just reading or something. Go read. The day you won't stop worrying whether or not someone is ignoring you is the day you're too busy to give a fuck. Live your own fucking life and stop living through others. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Okay, I was gonna go put this deck back, but then I dropped this card off the bottom of the deck, and I just think it's funny. Sometimes crushing it means asking for help. Only fools or suckers think that they can do it all on their own. Ask for help and then take help. Let others be a part of your success. Don't be stingy about letting others share in whatever kick-assery you're creating. Every real baller has a crew. Also, you don't know everything. That's just the fucking facts. So sit down. So sit it on down. Oh, good Lord. Ooh, that was ugly. That was ugly. But the cards are accurate. That was ugly as hell, but the cards are accurate. We got the Ace of Swords out here. Again, just reaffirming that stuck feeling, that trapped feeling. But I feel the need to tell you that help is on the way, dearie, is the way that I want to say it. Mrs. Doubtfire style and all. Help is on the way, dear. We got the Ace of Wands out here. And the 9 of Wands together, that's 10 wands. That's know better, do better. That's the I've learned my lesson and we're moving forward. Right now, things are balancing out, and that's what you're waiting on. That's why this Knight is upside down. You're waiting on the balance from Temperance for things to come out correctly, and that's what we were talking about the 3D. So if you needed any more confirmations, there you go. It's happening, and it's all happening right now. The 3D's just taking a little bit longer to shake out than we all thought it would. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. I hope everyone's doing good today on this hump day. How's everybody doing today? A little too slow. Oh, I'm glad it helps. Just the collective. I'm gonna see what I missed. Thank you so much for all the follows, all the likes, and all the shares. Thank you for all the taps. List is open. We're doing 10-10 for my subscribers today, and we're doing 12-12 for my non-subscribers. We have Cash App and we have Venmo. So if you would like something felt into, or maybe you have a question that you would like answered, or a topic, or maybe you don't know what you want at all and you just want to hear from Spirit, we have generals too. Everything's 12-12 for my non-subscribers and 10-10 for my subscribers. Thank you all for being here. Thank you. GL? How's it going, dude? Every time I see you, remind me of my mama. There's a heart at the end of that, so I'm going to assume that's good energy. Thank you. No, I'm just kidding. Well, that's awesome. I think that's the first time I've ever, that I've ever had anyone say that I remind them of their mother. I've gotten a you feel like my grandmother a couple times, but I think that's the first time I've ever gotten a mom, so that's kind of cool. I'll take it. Geo. I've fallen in the pit. Oh God, Kalila. Don't fall in the pit. Don't fall in the pit. Is there another I in your name? Have I been saying your name wrong? Is there another I in your name? Kalilia? Kalila? Have I been saying your name wrong? Man. You can hear your guides chuckling. Mama used to say, what you don't know could fill the whole world. I used to hear the, not from my mother though, but I don't know who used to say it, but I used to hear it like, what you don't know could fill a room. Yeah, that's interesting. I hope you have a fantastic what in the world kind of language are we trying to say today? I hope you have a fantastic day too, little ducky. Hope you have some fun. Two eyes. It's just a screen name. It's Kelly. Oh. Oh, okay. Well, well then, yes, I've really been saying it wrong. Aw. Thanks. What, LeighAnn? Hold on. I know I've been blowing you up. I just have been stressed over money. I don't understand this energy. Paid cash. Okay. Okay, hold on. Let me check. Hold on. Okay, so I got Miss LeighAnn. So what's exactly your question? So let's, like, what's your question, Miss LeighAnn? What's your question? Because, I think Monday when we were on the sofa, I think you got to read, right? or Sunday. So what is your question that I might be able to like? Are you sure that's what you want me to do? Because I feel like we did that on Monday. Job is fine, had the conversation. Okay, so you just want to gear it towards cash. What you need to know about cash. Like physical money abundance is what you're talking about. Okay. Okie dokie. Hold on, I'm sorry, I just got a notification. Miss Thomasina, I got you next on the list, homie. Alright. So, Miss LeighAnn. I haven't even thrown any cards yet, and I can tell you it's coming. They just keep saying patience, and they're talking about rewards heading your way. But let's throw cards on it. They just keep calling you impatient. They're referring to something as growing pains. They're talking about your relationship with money and finances not being the healthiest is the way that they're saying it, as almost as being not being balanced and kind of sucking the fun out of life, and not that money just affords you to do things, but you've almost made it like a large place in your life as far as a necessity instead of like an added bonus. And I know that's hard to understand because we say that, we need money in order to do the things that we need to do to survive. But they're talking about how you've placed that need and that grasping so high on the list that you're almost perpetuating the lack of it, because you're perpetuating the never having enough of it, the struggle that you have and you view it as is being tossed into like a cyclone. I do have the Page of Wands, which I feel like good news is coming, but they're talking about like you in the middle of like stressful situations, stressful decisions, having to kind of choose one thing over another, and how it's kind of distracting you in a way from all of it. And that's what's kind of unrooting your foundations, is because it's making you feel insecure in the fact that you're not secure, not like insecure in yourself, and the fact that it's not making you feel very stable. And they're talking about your resourcefulness not really coming out shining right now, but more of the fact that it's like you chasing it so hard that you're like, you can't see your way out of it. I do have like this feeling for better budgeting coming up, because I do have this Four of Pentacles out here. So not only is it like the need to control your money better, which would be budgeting, but it's also like the possessiveness that you have and the relationship you have with money, as far as what place it holds in your life, that's making it kind of worse off right now. I don't know if this is going to make sense to you, so I'm going to look at the screen in a little bit to see if I need to like reword this. But they're talking about how you can create your material financial abundance right now, should you want to, because every single time I throw this, it's all about the Magician, which is all about your skill, your creativity. Like, it's all about putting it together and making it work. It's about visualizing it. It's about your power. Like, it's pretty much about willing shit into existence. It's about your performance. Like, it's like putting the action behind what you're wanting and not waiting for it to reach your door. And I feel like I can hear the confusion around that, being like, well, I'm doing this, I'm going to work, I'm doing this, but they're saying a couple different things. They're saying, one, cut the fat. Like, cut out the fat, cut the things you don't necessarily need, the excess things out. And then they're also talking about how you can create for yourself random abundances, to where all of a sudden, oh my God, this makes sense, or oh my God, I got a bonus, or oh my God, somebody gifted me money, or oh my God, like, you can create these weird things, or oh, I stumble upon $20, or oh my God, no way, electric's cheaper this month, that's crazy. Like, they're saying, like, there's something here that you can will into existence. Like, I know that sounds really weird, but they really have you out here as, like, the Empress, which is paired with the Magician, is like owning her shit. It's making her own harvest. It's making her own abundance. It's controlling, like, it's like the ultimate feminine. Like, and they're just talking about how you're stuck in this Five of Cups energy, which is kind of this left out, this lull kind of an energy, which is leading you to this upside down Four of Wands again, which is your insecure foundations. Alright, so let's see if we can get a little bit more specific. You're not gonna like it, but every card that comes out here, it's self-perpetuated struggle. It's self-perpetuated struggle. It's the lack of patience and the lack of faith in knowing that everything's gonna work out and you're not gonna be left to dry. And it's that knowing that you're worthy of receiving more, and then ushering it to you. Like, it's all of that, which is triggering the anxiety, which is triggering the worry, which is triggering the mental thoughts, which is triggering the projections out into the world that you don't have enough, that this isn't working, that it's too hard, it's too stressful. And then that's what you're getting in return. And this is why your Hierophant is out here as a bridge, is because it's not you fully adapting in your lesson here, not you fully, I don't want to say playing the universe, but like, it's kind of you, like, you believe it, but you haven't proven it to yourself, so when it actually matters, you throw the beliefs at the wayside. Does that make sense? So, like, if I told you if you wanted a better job to go create one, well, as long as you have a job, you're going to be like, all right, cool, and you'll believe that you can create a better job experience for you. But then when it becomes, but then when it turns into money, and I tell you you can create your own money, your brain's like, no. And you throw that to the wayside. Like, you almost doubt that belief system that you had. And it either works or it doesn't. So it either works for every aspect of your life, or it's bullshit and it doesn't. So this is the wavering that they're talking about. Like, when it comes down to it, when you actually have to use it, when it's actually to you up against the ropes, you kind of screw yourself because you throw it to the wayside. That's the way that they're putting it out here in all these cards, is because we got the devil out here as a bridge. That's you trapping yourself in your own cage. That's you keeping yourself stuck, trapped, you know, in limbo. We got the 9 of Wands out here, you being like resilient, but we also have the 10 of Wands full of burden. Like, they're talking about you being resilient, but you never wanting to end the battle struggle in the way of like surrendering to the fact that you know a way out, but it you have to turn your inner bullshit off. Like, you would have to actually back up what you say you believe. Does that make sense? And I got the 6 of Wands out here, which is all victory, but that only is happening after you release that doubtful 5 of Cups, after you release that it won't happen for me mindset, after you release the caged bird and all this other stuff. Like, they're I don't want to say they're testing your beliefs, but they're making you stand on what you truly believe. So if you believe that things are going to get better and this is temporary, then that's exactly what they're going to do. If you believe that you deserve to have more money and things should be easier, then that's all you got to say, but then you got to live it. Like, that's all you have to say. Then you got to have the patience to wait for it to be lived out. Like, but they're talking about how that's not necessarily possible, because when you get with your back up against the ropes, when somebody puts you in a corner, it's like a caged animal kind of feel. Is like they backed you into a corner, and then you're going to do whatever it takes to get out of the corner, and it doesn't matter if that's going back to old ways as long as it gets you out of the corner temporarily. But the problem is that's you perpetuating the cycle, and that's why we got the Tower on the bottom of the card and the Magician in reverse. That's 3 magicians now, all in reverse. And they're just talking about how that's putting you backwards. Because either you believe it or you don't. So either that works for you and that's a belief system that you hold and a core value that you hold, or it's not. And they're testing it. Like, no shits, no BS. They're telling you to put your money where your mouth is. Like, do you really believe it? Are you really going to manifest it for yourself? Are you really going to tell the universe, this is who I am, this is what I deserve, this is this? That's the magician. That's using your tools. That's starting your own beginning. That's mustering up all the strength, all the courage. You know, like, that's putting everything into action. That's your willpower. That's like the elegance of your magic. That's like your begin again. But your emotions are so deeply tied to money, and I don't mean that in a negative way. Like, I don't mean that in like a greedy type of a way, no. But that struggle for you, financially, elicits a lot of an emotional response, an energy in motion response. So, you did step 1. You talked to your boss. You used your throat chakra, right? You opened up communication. You had conversation. Fantastic. But you still have emotional triggers that you're going to have to face as to why you get yourself overwhelmed, to why it feels like the weight of the world is on you financially, and this and that, and what caused that, what started that, how can you change that perspective, how can you change that outlook. Like, all of this is here for a reason. So if it's triggering you, it's a breadcrumb to see where you still need to work. Because there's the disconnect for you in your masculine and your feminine brains, because your masculine's trying to grind out the whole life through money and trying to get stable and secure to do what you want, and then maybe we'll let the feminine out, and then the masculine gets so irritated it triggers the feminine, and then you start getting super upset, and then that's when you get your overwhelming amount of emotions, because your masculine's not healed and your feminine's being locked away, and that's where you're getting a lot of the push-pull. So, like, even though I have the Lovers card out here a couple times, it's talking about your masculine and feminine in you, not outside of you. And it's always followed by burdens. It's always followed by the suppression of things. It's always followed by the struggles and the weight of the world that you put on yourself. And especially when we're speaking financially, the amount of pentacles and cups that have been thrown out here is just indicative of the deep ties that one has to the other for you. Yeah, and we got the Justice card out as a bridge, so it's again just hinting at balance. And they're talking about temporary, I want you to see this. Like, I want you to see this. Like, yeah. So they literally have temporary struggles, right? Temporary struggles. This is temporary, right? Your 5 of Pentacles in reverse. Temporary material struggles. That would be your finances. We have the Princess of Cups. So you're still figuring out your mature emotions. You're still figuring out all of these things. You're putting puzzle pieces together. You're not quite there yet, right? You're not quite crowned yet. You see how the water's still rocky and all this other stuff is still going on around. Like, you're not quite there at your solid foundational beginning yet, right? And then we have your Abundance in reverse, because you're still bridging through this. Like, that's why, because you're still bridging through all of this. Yeah, because then right afterwards, as we were talking about changing perspectives, right afterwards we had the 3 of Wands, which is all looking back over everything, taking it all in, seeing how far you've come, seeing just how accomplished you are, how high you're sitting now. Like, it's the reassess. Like, that's always my, like, reassess card. It's your reassess, right? Reassess, and then your glance forward card. Because you see how he's up here? He's, like, up on the cliff, and there's all these shores, and it's, yeah. And the fact that there's still water in this, I'm sorry, like, it just is alluding more. But then after that, then that's when your abundance comes in. Like, that's after your reassessment, your new perspective, your look back to look forward. After you start steadying your waters, you know, after you push through your temporary financial struggle. But this is exactly what they're talking about. It's all to do with you. And I know that sounds awful, but your team saying you asked for this. You asked to be pushed, and they're pushing you. And I'm gonna be real honest, they have no plans of stopping. He says not a one. No plans of stopping. So it's there to elicit your rise. It's there to elicit your strength. But it's also there to start having you pick at your emotions, your feelings surrounding things, the things that you've kind of locked away and haven't thought about. When was the last time that you thought that money elicited a massive emotional response from you? Probably never. But this is a way for him to assist you in bridging into your feminine. This is him in a way that he can help you get comfortable dealing with your emotions, your energy in motion, and your feelings are tied to certain things. So he's bridging you through into your emotional healing. But he's going to start with things that that you believe to be out of your control. Thank you. That's the best way of saying it. Things that you believe to be out of your control and placing them back in your control. Because they are in your control because of who you are. Like, that's the way I want to say it. Because of who you are, they are in your control. And that's what he's trying to show you, is that you can release control. Like, this is what the crazy thing is. And I might confuse you, and I'm not meaning to. You can release control while still manifesting, while still going with the flow, while still knowing that it's already yours and having all the control in it. The only thing you can't control is the timeline. That's the ultimate release of control while still maintaining your control of your power and your essence. And I know that might be confusing, but that's the type of control he wants you to switch into. Not the control of the expectation of the outcome, but the control of it's already yours and it's coming, so therefore I don't need to worry about it anymore. And it's one of the hardest things we have to do, especially because the 3D keeps us stuck in the 3D and going day to day, paycheck to paycheck. Like, it tries to hold you there. But that's part of the journey, is to bridge into that higher perspective, that higher, way of thinking, that higher energy frequency that pulls you out of that, So I hope that helps, Miss LeighAnn. I hope that helps. I know that that's probably not what you wanted to hear, but that's the honest truth. Like, that is the honest truth in what your team has to tell you. Let me just scroll back here. Denise, reads are paid today. We're doing 10-10 for my subscribers, and we're doing 12-12 for my non-subscribers. So I can totally feel into you if you want. We got Cash App, we got Venmo. I'm going to do last call because I do have to run errands, but I got Thomasina on the list. So if you would like to get on the list, Miss Denise, then go ahead and you can send in to Cash App or Venmo. Makes so much sense. Thank you for the follow, Andrea. Thank you for the follow. Much appreciated. I needed to hear this. Well, I'm glad. Boy, he's pushing me. He is, but that's the whole point, though, because we're in the middle of the gray area transition. We're in the middle of your do or die. We're in the middle of, are you standing up for what you're creating, or are you repeating a cycle? Like, the whole collective is in the middle of that right now. Everybody is in the gray area going ping, 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 ping. So I'm not surprised that you feel like he's pushing you. Thank you so much for the gift, D Fairy 1. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Welcome in, by the way. Okay, I'm glad. So we're doing last call, guys. If you would like to read, it's 10-10 for my subscribers, and it is 12-12 for my non-subscribers. I have Miss Thomasina on the list. I'm going to do Miss Thomasina, and then I will check the list when I come back. Miss Thomasina, are you here? And what would you like? Would you like a question or a topic? Or would you want a general? Totally up to you, madam. Oh my god, thank you so much. No worries. I'm glad it helped. I don't know. We're doing last call, though, Miss Sarah. So if you would like a read, the list is open. We're doing last call. Can you feel into my abilities? Sure. Do you have like a certain question regarding your abilities? I don't necessarily know where you are. Do you have like a certain question regarding your abilities, or are you just like tell me one of my abilities, like you know what I'm saying? I just want to make sure that like of what you're asking, if that makes sense. Okay. How's your energy level been? Have you been feeling a little sucked, dry, at times to where you're like fine and then all of a sudden you're like energetically exhausted? Because I'm kind of feeling like a sucking kind of a thing to where it's like, oh, I'm fine, just going about my life, and then all of a sudden it's like, and you're like, oh man, I could use a nap, like, kind of a thing. To where it's almost like I feel as though you're shifting. I almost want to call it a recalibration. I feel as though you're shifting in like a recalibration. And if you feel as though sleep has been kind of crazy for you lately, to maybe you're either not getting good sleep or almost like you're a little awake. Oh, your energy's tired, bro. Your energy's tired. Like, kind of exhausty tired. I think we're gonna need to start working through some refresher points for you as far as especially when it comes to your abilities, especially since you're empathically in tune more than you realize, especially with collective energies. I don't just mean energies in a room like you walk in and maybe someone's being dramatic and then you leave the room and you feel tired. That's not necessarily what I mean. I mean, I feel as though you're more connected with collective energies than you give yourself credit for. Like, that's the way that I want to say it. Than you give yourself credit for. And I feel like sometimes you don't realize how the up-downs in the collective have a push-pull on you. Like, especially regarding what cycles we're in. So, your energy is very aware and has an effect on it when the collective goes in the swamp. Even energy shifts throughout the day, because energy can shift. It's not the same energy all day long. And specifically around the moon cycles, and when the sun pops off, like, I feel like you're a little bit like me, and you're a little bit like my bestie, in the way of, I mean, he was really like with the sun, but in the way of like, you can feel it coming, and then you'll look at something and you'll get confirmation as to why you feel the way you do. I feel the need to tell you that that's actually part of your abilities, whether you realize it or not. It's not just that, oh, everyone in the collective feels this way. No, it's the fact that you feel it to the level that you do. I don't want to say it's not normal, but it's not everybody's normal. That's not something that a lot of people deal with on the day-to-day, where they're just walking around and all of a sudden 2 minutes go by and the entire energy shifts, and it's like you shift and the room shifts, and then you're kind of sitting there like, is this me? Is it not? What happened? Like, so energetic discernment is going to be extremely beneficial to you, as well as release and I don't want to say grounding, because I feel like you do ground. I don't know why I say that, but I feel like you do ground. But it's more just hygiene on refreshing your energy. So I feel as though you have done energetic callbacks before, and I could just be making this up, but I feel as though you've done them already. Like you're aware of how to do an energetic callback. Maybe that's the way I want to say it. You're aware of how to do an energetic callback. But they're talking about physically instilling energy in your body. So, have you ever used food or drink as an energetic nourisher for you? Because when it comes to your feelers and your empathicness, as far as the up-down goes, it's going to become incredible for you, only because You can mindfully eat or drink, and I know that sounds so stupid, but you can mindfully eat or drink, and you will be refilling your gas tank, and you can do it throughout the day. So regardless of what you're eating, or what you're drinking, whether it's water or, I don't know, a Pop-Tart or a cookie, it doesn't matter what it is. It could be something super healthy like vegetables or fruit, it doesn't really matter. But you can use it as energetic builders, should you want to. Because of the way that your energy is allowed to play, is the way that I want to say it, because the way your energy is allowed to play naturally, and you have and are affected so largely by the collective shifts, that means that you can also affect your energy largely. So if it works one way, it has to work the other way. Like, you can't just be inundated with energy and then you not be able to have that same effect on your own energy. So it's changing your perspective a little bit. So if something can affect you greatly, you can also affect it greatly, and vice versa. So if you ever feel yourself called to wander, I don't know if you're a wanderer, if you're somebody who likes to go out and wander around, or maybe you like to drive around, maybe you're someone who likes to take drives, or maybe you find yourself going to stores but you don't really need anything, you just want to walk around. Sometimes that could be boredom. Like, I'm not going to take the humanness out of it. That could be boredom. But sometimes it's because energetically your energy and your frequency is needed in a certain location. So if you ever get pulled to drive around with no real destination, and you're just making a bunch of turns and you're showing up places and you're like, I don't know where we are, but I got GPS on my phone and we'll be fine. Like, one of those things. Or you decide to take a trip somewhere and it's like a last minute spur of the moment thing, and you drive an hour somewhere and you're like, woo, and you go do something, you go see some shop, go to some restaurant, and you come back and like, I don't know why I did that, but I feel better. Part of it is that you're being called there energetically to assist, like your physical energy traveling through a location or a space or a place leaves a lingerance, and it helps to elevate something in some way, shape, or form. And the fact that a lot of people who are naturally in tune with the collective, the way it works, they'll be called to, I call them pingers. I don't know what the official term is, but I call them pingers. It's when you're kind of pulled somewhere to ping a location, like you do on your phone, to ping a location with your energy, and then you leave. Your energy is still doing work and has done work in that space, and a lot of times the people who are very in tune like that and are my empathic people, the way you are, and who are in tune with the collective and the up-downs and a lot of times you're also natural transmuters. And sometimes that's why you feel low. So low is because your body's filtering it. So a lot of times, my back's getting super cold right now. A lot of times your body filters it through your energy field. And I have the beloved card out here, but they're pointing me towards the fact that it's the heart. And I always call the heart the filter. And I have the lower world out here. So I just want you to know that sometimes if you travel places, transmutation, you will be doing transmutation work. You will be filtering energies through your energetic field, through your aura field, through your heart chakra, through your vessel type of a thing, to where you absorb and you filter, and what you leave behind is filtered energy. What you leave behind is higher vibrational energy. What you like, the product of that energy coming into contact with you is a better product. And this is kind of part of one of your abilities, whether you realize it or not. But they're saying I feel the need to tell you, the more you accept it, the easier it gets. The more you accept that you're I literally want you to start saying that you're a natural transmuter. And the way that I tell people to do it is to say that it's your natural ability. Because one, it is. It is. You didn't study, you didn't put work into feeling the cosmic shifts, you didn't put work into feeling the dumpy energy of the collective. No. It's your natural ability. But when you make transmuting part of that natural empathic ability, what you're doing is you're also subconsciously telling your body, it does it without me. It does it without my conscious awareness. So you're pretty much telling your body that regardless of where you go, your energy is on top. Your energy is the bigger dog that eats the smaller bullshit. So it absorbs the bullshit and spits it out. But that also creates a flow state in the body because it happens naturally. It doesn't require you to do extra steps to rid yourself of the energy. And it also tells every cell in your body that it's not yours. It tells every cell in your body not to claim it as your energy. And my back is so cold right now, and I have a hoodie on, and it shouldn't be cold, so this must be resonating. It's for somebody. It tells your body that's not yours, and that's one of the biggest things you can do, because do you have, and please don't be offended, do you have, or do you feel as though, in your perspective, that you have a weight issue? Or that it's difficult for you to lose weight? Maybe it's difficult for you to lose weight. Or it's hard for you to lose weight, but you can put it on super easy. Or that your metabolism might be low. Or maybe you've just always felt you've had a thyroid issue, but you've never got checked. There's something regarding weight and a little bit of body appearance here that they're kind of talking about. But some of that is grasped onto energy. Some of that's unfiltered energy. Some of that is you physically carrying around things that aren't yours, and you've carried them in your energetic field so much that you've clogged up your natural filters, in that they have revealed themselves in the physical as stored, I don't want to use the word fat because that sounds bad, but like stored calories. And that may appear on your body as weight gain. I know that sounds super weird, but that's what they're saying. And they're also talking about the densities that you feel. So the fact that sometimes you feel super dense, like you feel heavy. And I don't just mean like you wake up and you're a little bloaty. No, I'm talking about like you wake up and you're like, okay, yesterday I felt light as a feather, and I was like, somebody pick me up, I'm so light. And it's almost like you don't envision yourself looking the way that, you may look in photos or on the camera or whatever. But it's like this physical lightness that you feel, and then some days you wake up and you're like, my God, I feel like a whale. Like, that's the way that I want to say it, but not in like a mean way. This is the densities at play energetically that you're feeling. So when you're feeling super dense, know that you're shifting. Know that you're shifting. So one of two things are happening ability-wise. You're either in the middle of a filtering upgrade, you're processing dense energies at the moment, or the collective is shifting through something wild. A lot of times our empathic people and our people who have some things like that to where they feel energies the way that we do, sometimes we'll feel like time will slow down, like somebody jacked the e-brake and it's like to a screech. And part of that you're going to feel as physical denseness, which in the 3D with gravity will feel like more gravity. Like, why does everything feel heavy and slow, and why does time seem to drag on? And it's also indicative of a cosmic change. So they want you to start tuning into how your body reacts, because they're talking about how your specific energy body, your light body, in correlation with your physical body, about how it's like they're calling that type of a feeler for you. They're calling that type of a feeler for you your superpower. It doesn't feel that way, and it feels draining, and it feels ick, and it feels a little bit dramatic, and like you just rather not, like, kind of have a cooler superpower. But if you know how to use it, you can do some serious damage with it. Like, if you know how to use it, you can have a whole lot of fun with it. If you get to learn it and how it works for you and your body, you can get tuned in info before everybody else because you feel it. Like, it's not that you know it, not someone doesn't have to speak it to your head. Like, no, you feel it. And I feel the need to tell you that some of your headaches are paired to it. So, are you a migraine person? Are you someone who gets migraines? Because there's some part of lack of flow. My God, I'm getting back pain. Like, ow. There's something about a lack of flow and the way that, they're saying like certain strands of cosmic energy will come in and almost hit you from like the temple. That's the way that I want to say it. Like, it's almost giving like migraine in the fact of being like one side or the other, as opposed to like my whole head hurts kind of a thing. And it makes me feel like there's a certain frequency that when it's flowing in its abundance, you feel it, and it's like a train to the side of the face, like taking a bus to the face is what it feels like, and it kind of feels like a little one-sided. But just know that's also not yours. So we can also filter that out. Now, it doesn't mean it's going to magically 111 disappear overnight sometimes, especially when you're first learning how to work with your transmuter ability and your discernment. But it could definitely take the lessen the sting out of it and make it so you don't need to crawl under the sheets and take 40 Advil. So your ability that they're harping on is actually your empathic ability right now, but just not in the way that I don't think anybody's talked about it to you before. So they're looking at it more on the grand scale with you right now, as opposed to other things. But yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I hope that helps. Let me know if you have any, if you want anything clarified. I'm going to scroll back through all the comments. No problem. I'm going to scroll back all through the comments. Thank you so much for the follow. Thank you for all the gifts. Thank you. Do a general. All of my downloads from Spirit hit at 3. Hey, it happens. If that's the time where it works best for you and your brain is at the most woo-saw, that might just be the easiest time they have to come through. And now that you have an awareness that at 3 o'clock it happens all the time, sometimes you're also subconsciously allowing communication at 3 o'clock. So I'm not surprised at all. I don't ground as much as I should. But you know how to ground. So that's something in your awareness that you know how to do, but we've been slacking on, which is understandable because a lot of people do in the winter. When it's the winter and it's cold, not many people want to go outside. So I usually tell people to switch from grounding with the earth element and switch to grounding with water. Because technically, every day you take a shower, you can ground with water. So I know it's hard because I'm using the word grounding. It's more like centering, but still. Violet, thank you for the heart. Welcome in. Much love, dude. I hope you're doing good. I haven't seen you in forever. I hope work's going well. You're currently working on losing weight? Shut up. Dude, that's so great. It's okay. It's gonna happen. You've already lost it. Think about it like that. It's gonna happen. You've already lost it. Christine, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you. Well, I'm glad it doesn't sound weird for you. I'm totally glad it doesn't sound weird for you. You take 2 showers a day? I only do that in the summer. I only take 2 showers a day in the summer, and I don't wash my hair twice a day, otherwise my hair would be like a stale crisp. But yeah. Mandy R. I'm so sorry. Okay, let me check. Hold on. Alright, Miss Mandy. Alright, Miss Mandy R. You are the last on the list. So the list is now closed. Miss Mandy. I'm a double water sign. Yeah, it does, dude. Like, oh, well, go enjoy your lunch, Thomasina. Go have fun, dude. It's too nice of a day to not have fun. Yeah, no, I love doing grounding with water and all the elements, honestly. Wind is one of my favorites, and it's one of the most, like, underappreciated of the elements, I really do feel. But, it's beautiful to work with, and it loves to be worked with, so it responds like nobody's business to working with it. And when you start working with it and all the wind picks up, and you're like, oh, this is nice. Oh, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. I do it all the time. Miss Mandy R., what would you like? Do you have a question or a topic you would like felt into? Oops. Are you still here, Mandy? Do you have a topic or something you would like felt into? No worries. So just let me know what your question or topic is. Just maybe a general, or like what my next steps are that I should be focusing on. Okay, so like what should you be focusing your energy on right now? Okay, I kind of like this. So it's kind of like a what do you need to know, but like where should you place your energy? Okay, well, let's see what comes up. I'm kind of excited about this one. I don't know why. I feel like this might be fun. Alright, Miss Mandy. Are you kind of dorky? Like, but like in a good way, not like, but are you kind of like goofy dorky? Because I just went to take 2 breaths to like separate and to reconnect, like, or to connect with your energy, and I heard this like little small voice that was like present, and like I don't know, a mix between like SpongeBob and like I don't know, Girl Scouts. Like I don't know how to make sense. But it was like I was waiting for like my team to be like, all right, like we got a good connection, and all of a sudden I just hear like some tiny hand from the back like present. I just like I don't know. So just what was the question? Where do I need what should I be focusing on? Okay, what should I be focusing my energy on? What should Mandy be focusing her energy on? So before we even get into these cards, the very first thing that I heard was your past self, is where you should be focusing your energy on. And, because I do have the 2 of Pentacles out here in reverse, and it's talking about an imbalance in self, but I really do get this, as almost like an imbalance in, the essence of who you are and who you portray yourself to be, because I do have this 7 of Wands out here, which is about protections, and I feel like sometimes your protections are a little bit too high, like they're a little bit too heightened, and it's stopping you. And I feel like this Fool card could also be like you're also afraid to look a fool. Like that's almost like I'm getting it kind of the other way as well. Like not only are you like stopping yourself from bursting forward with all of the haha, but it's like you're also kind of afraid to look silly or to look dumb or to like, it's almost like to be made a fool or to be made to look like a clown or a joke maybe. There's almost like a I want to be taken seriously, but in part of this defense and being taken seriously, it's almost like you've made yourself a little too serious. And as I grab this deck, I would not be surprised if this were to come out with the play card, because it's almost kind of pulling me towards like too much work and not enough play. Like, good lord. Like, too much work and not enough enjoyment. Too much work, what? And not enough enjoyment? Like, what? What? No, not at all. Not at all. And I feel like, I feel as though your team is trying to make this read extra funny in the way of being almost sassy. Like, I feel as though this is something, like, I feel like you're a self-aware person. I just have to tell you that. I feel like you know what's up already. I feel like you're not the most patient person, though. I feel as though you kind of try to rush the outcome. And can't blame you. We're human. We want what we want when we want it. And we typically want it now. They're talking about, like, when was the last time you smiled? Like, when was the last time you smiled just for you? When was the last time you laughed just for you and not laughing as a cover, not laughing as a defense because something wasn't really funny to you, but everybody else was laughing? Like, there's a different kind of shielding here that you do. And there's a little bit of stress involved in what you do. And I don't know if it's stress to fit in quite yet, or if it's stress about work. But there's almost like this lack of joy that is happening here. And they want you to focus on getting back to who you are. And that's why I feel like I have the Two of Cups out here. That's also why I feel like I have the communication card right on top of it. Is because it's you communicating mind, body, spirit with yourself and your authenticity and bringing two halves of a whole together inside of yourself. Let's see if, because you said, what should I be focusing my energy on? I feel like they're wanting to go a different direction, and I'm really trying to keep them on board here with your question. Community and togetherness is what you should be focusing your energy on right now, because it feels as though in your protections, in your seriousness, you've separated yourself from the things that you actually used to give a shit about, from the people you actually used to give a shit about, from the things you used to enjoy doing. And they're talking about getting back to it. Like, I almost feel like getting back to your roots, like getting to back who you are. You're the bridge that connects your shit together, right? So you can be both goofy and funny and serious. You can be both childlike and adult. You can be both immature and mature. Like, they're talking about you can be both smart and funny. Like, there is like this, they're trying to get you to understand that you embody the bridge between the things. You don't have to pick just one thing. And they're kind of showing it as though, like, you kind of gravitate toward one area and you're like that for a while. And then you flop. Like, that's the way that they're saying it. It's like, and then you flop. Because you do genuinely like it, but then you do it to an excess to where it's like you don't like it anymore. In, like, the short-term kind of way. Like, it's almost like, and then something else draws your attention. But they're trying to get you to understand that you could do all of those things a little bit at a time, a little bit every day, and you wouldn't have to give up anything, and you wouldn't have to try so hard, and you wouldn't have to overdo anything. And I feel like what they really want you to work on is that fifth element, and that fifth element is space. And that comes with balance, because the fifth element is the last thing in balance. It's once you balance your physical earth, air, fire, water elements inside of you that then you have the space, the ether, the spirit. That's the time and the place for everything. There's enough space for everything. There's enough room for everything. You don't have to give up anything because it's all already there. Like, and they're kind of talking about the balance of your life and its aspects of that. Not only on the inside, but also like on the outside as well, is like what I want to tell you. Like, not only on the inside, but also on the outside. Good Lord. I have the nurture and the psychic healing card. So you asked, what should we stick away from? So let's see, what should we avoid? What should we avoid? Let's see if we can get them to answer that for us. What should you avoid? What should be avoided? What should... Not sure if you're aware of this yet, because they all flipped upside down. Okay, no, that's what... No. You said... Your team's savage. No, because... I meant... Okay, that one's my fault. I meant, like, what should you avoid doing? And they took it as, what are you avoiding? And then they just threw out, like, 3 of the most savagest cards. 3 of the most savage cards. So, so you're avoiding your truth. You're avoiding your heart. You're also avoiding your heartache. You're avoiding your desire. You're avoiding your joy, your celebration. You're avoiding the goodness behind your judgments. You're avoiding basically the things that bring you joy. But now that we got that out of the way, if we could get back to the question that I was intending to ask. Your team's one that's fussy with words, aren't they? And I only say that because my team is like that sometimes, where they're like, we'll answer your question exactly the way that you asked it. Exactly the way that you asked it. Like, okay, so, let's try this again. What should you be avoiding doing? Oh, Lord. That was funny. I'm sorry. Like, I feel like they're trying to make this read funny for you, and I don't know why. I'm so sorry. This is so rude. I'm so sorry. Your team is savage. Your team is savage, and I just feel like something shifted. And I don't think I'm any longer talking to, like, your team. This energy completely shifted, and when I grabbed this deck, and it feels entirely feminine. It feels entirely feminine, and she feels like a sassy mamba jamma. So I don't know if this is a pass on loved one. She's not showing me herself, but she is giggling hardcore in the corner. Like, almost like covering mouth, like, giggling in the corner. So, just let you know, your team was like, that's all we need to say. But she said the pits of despair. You need to stop getting lost in the pits of in the pits of despair is the way that she's saying it. You need to avoid the pits of despair, because she's talking about how sometimes you're blind to the fact that you make your swamp. Like, and this is why she has this justice out. It's not only rebalancing yourself, but it's talking about, like, she's literally saying the pits of despair. Assuming more burdens is also what she said. Assuming more burdens. You should not be assuming more burdens right now. Okay, so let's see if we can get a little bit more specific, because burdens could be a lot of things. So, what kind of burdens? Let's see if we can really get. I mean, if we're gonna play the word game, let's play the word game. What burdens should we be avoiding? Shut up. What burden should we be avoiding? Yeah, right. Perpetuating the struggle story is what she's talking about, but then she's also hinting at a masculine. Are you in a relationship? Or are you, or do you entertain? She's calling them boys. She's not calling them men. She's calling them boys. Boys. Do you, like, entertain boys? Or, is this, maybe this is just immaturity in general? And the burdens that you assume. Battling immaturity, like trying to work with things that don't necessarily align for you in your greatest, highest good, kind of like entertaining the bullshit. And I wonder if that's why this song's playing. She's just talking about avoiding your healing. She's talking about avoiding your healing and like kind of avoiding some of the elephants in the room of your hard work as far as it goes, as far as it comes down to like your insecurities is the way that she's saying it. Like almost you get stuck. I don't want to say in your emotions, but it's like you almost get stuck not only in trust, like, and maybe the lack of trust you have for yourself and others, but she's kind of saying how you get kind of just stagnant, like you get in a rut almost. Own up to your bullshit. Oh my goodness. This is wild. I'm sorry, this is just... She's funny. Like, she's funny. Like, I don't... She's funny. Did she, like... Did she used to, like, dance? Like, was she like a kind of, like, a Grammy energy who would, like, dance with her... I don't know. I don't want to say dance with her hands, but, like, she's just... She has, like, this weird little, like, movement going on. And I'm not quite sure what the movement is. I feel like she's kind of, like, I don't know. Just almost, maybe just sassy. Just sassy, having fun, I don't know. Like, gives no fucks. Kind of an energy. Do you have, I feel like she's dancing to this song. Do you have any clarification questions or anything like that? I'm going to scroll back through all the comments and see what you wrote. But go ahead and drop if you have any clarification comments or anything like that. You know what I mean? Just maybe a general, what to avoid making. I used to, ... I find it hard to be that person these days, but yes. Oh my god, so weird. What's so weird? It's home stress, toxic environment, and that's what I typed earlier. So crazy, no joy. Oh my goodness. I needed to hear side of this prompt. Oh, well, I'm glad that resonated for you, Miss Derry. Not Derry. I'm sorry, D Fairy. I wanted to call you Derry. Just let everyone know about my farm life. Called you Derry. Whatever they want to hear. Oh my god, that's my granny, I bet. That's your granny? Yo, if that's your granny, she's wild. Like, if that's your granny, I want your granny to be friends with me because she's wild. Like, she's that type of sassy granny that, like, I don't care. Like, the realist. Like, that's the way that I want to say it. Like, the realist gives no fucks, doesn't care what people think about her. She's gonna tell you exactly how she feels every time. Like, but sadly, it's true. I'm so far from joy or who I once was. Your reading's cracking me up. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm in a toxic one, and I'm wishing to reconcile with my kid's dad. Oh, jeez. I'm sorry. She used to drink and she was savage. She used to drink and she was savage. Thank you. Thank you for the share, Bethany. Thank you. She was a boss. Stop. Should I stop entertaining the reconcile? Am I using it as a way to get out of the toxic one? You are we manipulating? Okay. Okay, so we're gonna break it up. So should you, in your greatest highest good, because I feel like if I say should, we're gonna have to reword this because your team's about to give you a maybe and I can feel it. So hold on. Is it in your greatest highest good to continue with the reconcile? That's what we're going to say. Is it in your greatest highest good to continue with the reconcile? I'm gonna be honest. They have three, or not three. I'm sorry. I'm staring at 4 cards. They have 4 cards that are yeses out for that question. Is it in your greatest highest good to continue with the reconcile? Yes. However, I have the success and victory card out. I have the returning to one's roots or heading home. I have the 7 of Pentacles out as a bridge, which is you, like, paying off your hard work, paying off, you getting your abundance, like that kind of physical outcome, manifestation, or an idea coming to life. And then I physically have, like, your physical, like, outcome as being your 8 of Pentacles. So we're going from 7 to 8 after a victory of returning back to our roots. And it starts talking about your hard work and your newfound sense of self and self-esteem and new beginnings, new physical beginnings. But they're kind of picking at this word reconcile. So they're saying, like, reconcile can mean a lot of things. So, when I ask, because they're picking at the word reconcile, so I played with the word reconcile, and I just asked it in the form of reconcile, like, relationship, and they said, fuck no. Like, they were in it for a hell no. They have you out as the first card is a no, is a 10 of Swords, and it's upside down, and it's talking about you just escaped that type of a pattern, and you learned from your past, and they're talking about going forward in a new way, seeking clarity. But then we have the Death card out here, and they're talking about, like, the inability to break free from negative patterns. So, and kind of resisting the change to do something different. So it's making me feel like reconcile does not mean a love relationship, but reconcile can mean a healthier relationship. Does that make sense? It doesn't mean, like, hop back into, like, a heated relationship with the past person. It's coming out more as, like, you can make your guys' relationship better without having to be in a relationship. Does that make sense? is the way that it's taking it, because they are calling the love relationship. When I ask, like, does reconcile mean in a relationship, like romantically, they kind of have it out here as like kind of like a place you just left, and if you go back to it, it would be repeating almost a negative pattern or cycle. So it's kind of like you're picking yourself up, break through, and then you don't want to like finish through with the pattern. So they're not opposed to reconciling. Right off the bat, they're not opposed to reconciling, but they're being cautious with what you consider reconciling. So they're just saying to tote the line and make a decision. Because I have that Ace of Wands, the clarity is yours to see, and that's what they're kind of talking about. Like, the clarity is yours to see. As far as that goes, the other part of your question. The other part of the question is, am I using it as a way to get out of a toxic situation? Are you using your past? They're talking about how it's more familiar. How it's the devil you know versus the devil you don't. So it would be going back to your comfort zone is the way that it's coming out here. They're kind of talking about how, though, he has changed a little bit. Like, they are kind of talking about not only that it's your security blanket in a sense, but they are kind of lending to the fact that he has matured a little bit. And that's kind of what it is. And there's a little bit of anxiety and fear of, like, doing something different and kind of letting go of one thing and not heading straight into the other. Because that's part of the separation. That's part of the hardship. That's part of the that you feel. Yeah, so you have your independence card out here. You have your independence card out here, and then I have a disloyalty card out of it. So they're talking about you. Your independence is out here as a bridge. They're calling you independent, but when it comes to your emotions and your heart and where you place your love, you don't independently love you. So because you don't independently love you, you're falling into dependent, unbalanced, loving relationships, which is causing you more turmoil than joy. And you're kind of chasing stability instead of creating your own stability independently. And that's kind of what they're cautioning you at here. So I think you're self-aware and you realize that that's not really what you want to do, but you realize that you are looking for something more than you have, and that sense of security is what you're lacking. And being with somebody, regardless of the ups and downs, is more secure to you emotionally and stable, maybe financially, at least physically in some way, shape, or form, than being completely by yourself. So they're just talking about you'd rather have somebody to rely on than nobody. And that's what they're going to have you kind of bridging through your independence and not having that be a factor in your decisions to be with somebody. If that makes sense. I hope that helps, Miss Mandy. I hope that makes sense. I hope that brings just like a little bit of clarity. You know what I mean? Financial is what keeps me trapped, and I'm scared to fail my kids, and at least they have a roof. Finances are hard. Finances are hard, but it's one of those things that you have a lot of pentacles out, and pentacles isn't quick run for the hills and make a decision. That's more your fire. That's your flame. That's your wands. Like, pentacles is your slow, steady, patient, structured, grounded movement. So they're not telling you to up and leave one person, make your whole life in shambles, run for the hills. They're telling you to slowly start implementing things that are going to be allow you to become more stable. So start saving up, start seeing what you can cut out, start budgeting, start switching things up, They're talking about slow forward movement, because you did have a lot of stress and a lot of anxiety and a lot of worry out on the table, especially mentally. And your mental processes is for you what triggers your emotions. Like some people have an emotional response that triggers their brain on. Yours is the opposite. Your brain gets going and then it triggers your worry, and then your worry starts churning your gut. That's more your kind of downfall a little bit, is the fact that your brain starts and then everything else follows. So you're going to have to change. That's why they were talking about change of perspective for you in a lot of things. And it's because you start brain heavy first and then everything follows. So if you can get your brain on board and control your thoughts, because you're not your thoughts, they're the product of energy. So if you can control your thoughts a little better and get them thinking more positively and start taking little actionable steps, like not just saying you're going to do something, but actually putting it into action, because you have the awareness now, and you had a little bit before we even talked, of what you were coming into, knowledge, awareness now, and you had a little bit before we even talked, of what you were coming into, knowledgeably on somebody, as a coping whatever, or a way to feel more secure structurally, financially. So now what are we going to put in place, actionable, that is going to allow you to realize the outcome of your awareness, the product of your awareness. So now it's the planning and action step for you, because awareness is there. So no more need to gain more awareness right now. Now it's the planning step. I think some people get stuck in the awareness step. Like, well, what else do I need to know? You have enough right now that you can work with some stuff. So it's like, what are we going to start implementing? So that's your next steps, is starting to put that slow physical movement behind things. Because the more you start doing that, that's what's going to trigger your healing growth. That's what's going to trigger your stuff like that. Because you're going to have to do it for you and do it for your kids. And you're going to have to feel worthy. You're going to have to love yourself. Like, going through the motions just isn't going to work. And if you find yourself putting things into action and then not paying off, then you're going through the motions. So then you got to stop, you got to look and be like, okay, I'm just going through the motions. Like, let's really do this. And you got to get serious with yourself. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's okay. It happens all the time. I wish I could find my own space. That's my ultimate dream. Well, there you go. But you know what? If you're a visual heavy person, try visualizations. Try visualizations. So every day when you wake up, spend 3 minutes. Visualize your goal. Like, visualize it. What do you want? Say it out loud. What do you want? And I don't mean like, don't look at, your partner and be like, I want to be single. Like, don't do that. But like, I mean, you can, but that wouldn't be very healthy. But like, you know what I mean? Like, visualize the outcome of what you want. What do you want? What do you want your independent freedom to look like? And then feel what you think you would feel if you were to have had it. Right? And then speak as though it's already here. Show some gratitude. Thank you for the strength and the courage. Thank you for this. Like, I'm so happy that I have my own place. I'm so happy that I'm, abundant. Like, you can start speaking things into existence. We have the power to will anything into existence. That's free will. So you can do that for like 2-3 minutes every single day in the morning and at night before you go to bed. And do that for a little while. It'll not only train your brain as to how to start the day, which is going to be extremely important for you if you're a negative self-talker. It starts your day on a better foot and it ends your day on a better foot. So those are some like easy things that you can do that might assist in that. It's not going to be like, the be all end all, but it might assist you in putting in other practices as well. You know what I mean? So, thank you, Miss LeighAnn, Miss Thomasina, and Miss Mandy R. Thank you, everybody else, for all the likes, the shares, the follows, and all the love. We're on Instagram. Please check out our Insta. Please follow us. I'm trying to do big things on Insta. I'm still learning. The Insta algorithm does not always like me, but we're still trying. So please go follow us there. We have content there that's not posted anywhere else, and you might enjoy it. We're also on the YouTubes, and I'm going to try to post the the woods walks, because I know some people said earlier that they wanted me to post them, so we'll do that as well. So I will see you guys later on. I'm gonna try to. Oh, I'm glad. Thanks, Mandy. I hope it helps. Really, I really do, dude. I'm gonna be on probably around 8:30 tonight. Hopefully, if everything goes well, I will see you guys then. Thank you so much. Bye, guys. Have a good day. Get outside. Do all the fun things.